Welcome to NFL Talk. Tonight, we're going to do a deep dive into that Jets-Texans game.
Oh, yeah.
Real nail-biter.
Yeah.
Wild finish.
Had a bit of everything.
I'm Liam.
I'm Olivia.
Jets were coming in on that 5-game losing streak, facing a Texans team that's been playing better than their record shows.
Mm-hmm.
And man, did this game have a moment that'll be on highlight reels all year.
Oh, yeah. Garrett Wilson's game-winning touchdown catch.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolute insanity.
3rd and long. The Jets are down by 3.
Yep.
Rodgers throws it up for grabs in the end zone.
He throws it up there.
And Wilson, fully outstretched, makes this one-handed grab.
I know.
I mean, it looked impossible.
It did. Initially, it was ruled incomplete.
Yeah.
You can understand why. I mean, the refs probably didn't believe their eyes at first.
Right.
But the replay booth took a look, and sure enough, his shin was just barely in bounds as he made the catch.
It was so close.
It was.
That toe drag was inches from being out. And the way he twisted his body, the athleticism, it reminded me of Odell Beckham Jr.'s famous one-handed catch.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get that vibe, too?
Totally. Visually, they were incredibly similar. They both had that, wait, did that really just happen? Quality. But beyond the flash, I think this catch, was huge for Wilson's development.
Yeah.
He's been good all season, but this was a statement play, showing he can be the guy in those crucial moments.
Absolutely. Think about the impact on the Jets season. They were spiraling after those 5 losses. This could be the spark that turns things around.
For sure.
Of course, we got to give Rodgers some credit, too.
Mm-hmm.
He had 3 touchdown passes on the night.
2 to Wilson and then 1 to Devontae Adams, who finally got his first touchdown as a Jet.
It was a solid game for Rodgers, though, man. That first half was rough.
It was.
Unusually low passing yards for him.
Yeah.
He even admitted after the game that he played about as badly as he could have early on.
Really?
Knew he had to step it up. I wonder if part of it was the Texans' defense. They were really focused on taking away the deep ball, forcing him to take underneath throws.
I see.
Makes you wonder if he was also trying to adjust to having Adams back in the mix.
Yeah.
Those two have that legendary connection. But it might take some time to get fully in sync again.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he found his groove in the second half, that's for sure.
For sure.
Speaking of needing to step it up, we got to talk about rookie Malachi Corley.
Oh.
He had a rough moment.
Oh, man, a rookie mistake you hate to see.
Could have had his first NFL touchdown. He was sprinting down the sideline.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to score easily.
I know, and drops the ball.
Before even crossing the goal line.
Started celebrating way too early.
Oh, it was a touchback automatically.
Yeah.
The rule is you have to maintain possession all the way through the play.
Yep.
Tough lesson for a young player.
I know.
The emotion got the best of him.
You could see the look on his face when he realized what he'd done.
Oh, yeah.
Devastation.
Coaches were understandably not thrilled.
Yeah.
But, I give Coach Aldrich credit.
He kept his cool.
Yeah.
Had a little chuckle about it, but then sat down with Corley and explained why that mistake was so crucial.
Right. Right.
Sometimes those teaching moments, are more valuable than any practice drill.
Absolutely. Speaking of touchdowns, we can't forget about Adams' debut score for the Jets.
Right. A 37-yard beauty from Rodgers in the 4th quarter.
It was.
Remember how much we talked about Adams' potential impact on this offense?
Yeah.
Well, there's a glimpse of it.
He did have a bit of a scare earlier in the game.
Right.
With a potential head injury.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, he was cleared to return, and man, did he make a difference when he came back in.
Absolutely. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the Texans.
Yeah.
They gave the Jets all they could handle, but their offense definitely sputtered at times.
Yeah. C.J. Stroud had a tough night, completing just 11 of his 30 attempts for only 115 yards.
Oh.
And then there was Kaimi Fairbairn, missing those 2 field goals. Brutal.
Especially that one that would have made it a 1-point game late. It doinked right off the upright. You have to wonder what's going on there. Is it mental? Is it mechanical? The Texans need him to be reliable, especially in close games like this.
They had a chance to try that kick again, too, after a Jets penalty negated the previous Fairbairn field goal attempt.
Really?
You took the penalty, went for it again from a shorter distance, and he still missed.
Oh, no.
It was a real turning point. The Texans had all the momentum at that point, and missing that second field goal really seemed to deflate them.
I bet.
They had that amazing opening drive, 98 yards capped off by a Joe Mixon touchdown run, showing they came to play, but they couldn't maintain that momentum, and those missed field goals really hurt.
They did. Titus Howard, their right tackle, kind of summed it up perfectly after the game. He said they were the better team, but they let it slip away, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
Got to give the Jets defense some credit for stepping up when it mattered.
Yeah.
They forced some key punts and kept the Texans out of the end zone after that opening drive.
Before we move on, let's quickly touch on some injuries. Never fun to see guys go down. Kenyon Green left the game for the Texans with a shoulder injury. John Simpson and Jake Hansen both went out for the Jets.
Oh, wow.
And Michael Carter II also left the game for the Jets with a back injury.
Yeah. Hopefully none of those are too serious.
Yeah.
It's tough to lose key players, especially as the season goes on. But back to that Wilson catch. I mean, are we talking one of the greatest catches of all time here? It has to be in the conversation, right? Oh, it's definitely up there, the degree of difficulty, the stakes, the sheer beauty of it. It had all the ingredients of an iconic catch. And, you know, those debates about the best catches always come down to context, too. You know, did it win the game? Was it in the playoffs?
Well, this one checks those boxes. The Jets were down 10-7 when he made that grab. So it wasn't just a highlight. It completely shifted the momentum.
It did.
Up until that point, it felt like the Texans might pull off the upset.
Yeah, they had that early touchdown, and their defense was giving Rodgers fits, but Wilson's catch ignited the Jets, and the crowd, you could feel the energy in the stadium change instantly. Sometimes a single play can just swing the whole narrative of a game.
Yeah, and for Wilson, it has to be a huge confidence boost.
Yeah.
He's already a star, but this puts him in another category. Think back to those iconic catches. They become part of a player's legacy.
Right. It's like a signature moment, and it speaks to his dedication, too. You don't make those kinds of plays without putting in the work behind the scenes. But we can't forget about Rodgers. He had a rough start, but came through when it mattered most.
That's what separates the great quarterbacks from the good ones.
Right.
Being able to shake off a bad half-stay, compose when the pressure's on, and make those clutch throws.
Exactly. Rodgers has been doing it his whole career. It's almost like he thrives in those moments. But even with Rodgers' experience and Wilson's heroics, the Jets didn't exactly cruise to victory. It was a close game throughout, and the Texans, despite their offensive struggles, kept it interesting and had opportunities to win.
Yeah, those missed field goals by Fairbairn really loom large now, don't they? If he makes even one of those, we're probably talking about a different outcome.
Absolutely. In the NFL, every point matters. Every play can be the difference between winning and losing, and that's what makes it so compelling. You never know what's going to happen.
Totally. But tonight, the Jets made the plays when they needed to. Wilson's catch, Adams' touchdown, some key defensive stops. They all added up to a much-needed win. After that losing streak, they needed something positive.
Yeah, it was a real team effort. They snapped the streak, got a boost of confidence, and showed glimpses of the potential we've been talking about all season.
I'm curious to see how this affects them going forward. They have a tough schedule coming up, but this could be a turning point.
No doubt, but one thing's for sure, Garrett Wilson's catch will be talked about for a long, long time.
Absolutely. It was a game winner, a highlight reel play, and possibly one for the history books. So what does this all mean for the Jets moving forward? Well, it's definitely a positive sign. Snapping a 5-game losing streak like that can do wonders for a team's morale.
Oh, for sure, big time. And they showed they can win even when they're not firing on all cylinders, you know?
Yeah.
They had to overcome Rodgers' slow start, Corley's mistake, some tough moments on defense. It wasn't pretty, but they found a way.
Exactly. Grinding out a close win like this, something they hadn't done in weeks. This shows resilience, shows character. And with Wilson continuing to emerge as a superstar, Adams now in the mix, the offense has the potential to be scary good.
Oh, no doubt about it. They have the weapons to put up points on anyone in the league, but they'll need to find more consistency, especially from Rodgers. You can't afford to have too many more first halves like the one we saw tonight.
Absolutely. But he's a veteran, a future Hall of Famer. He's bounced back from adversity plenty of times before. And I think having Adams back in the fold will help him settle in, rediscover that rhythm they had in Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree that connection's special, but it's not just about those two. The Jets need the running game to get going, the offensive line to protect Rodgers, and the defense to build on that second-half performance tonight.
It's going to be fascinating to see how this team develops over the next few weeks. They have a brutal schedule ahead.
Yeah.
But they also have the talent to make some noise in the AFC.
No doubt this win could be a turning point for them, or it could be a blip on the radar. Only time will tell.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered it all. Wilson's incredible catch, Rodgers' performance, Corley's rookie mistake, Adams' debut touchdown, the Texans' struggles, the injuries. We've dissected it from every angle.
We have, and the question we'll leave you with is, will Garrett Wilson's catch go down as one of the greatest of all time? It's certainly in the conversation.
It absolutely is. Years from now, people will still be talking about that play. All right, that's it for us. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.